Do you think there's not enough of that?
What? Going over?
Diplomacy, talk, face to face. Is it a lot of posturing? And like now, you've got Obama, Romney.
Well, you are
Clinton.
aware this is a little bit higher than the pay grade I'm looking at.
Well, but I'm asking you because you have, and I think you're being understated for but I think for you, the idea is I think local people want to know more about this guy, Jason Davis, and he's an American hero. He's a military vet. He was injured in combat. And in a dangerous situation. And
there comes a time when we can talk, we can negotiate, we can try to work it out. But there's got to be a time when we've got to once again draw that line in the sand. We say, okay, talk is cheap. You're not doing what you're right to do, and it's time to stop. And either you fix it, you cease and desist, or we can do something really mean and nasty to you, like quit sending you $20 billion. Maybe if we took their paycheck away that we send them every year, that might wake them up enough to say, wait a minute, these people do have the chutzpah to sit there and say, no.
Let me ask you a question. Suppose it had been somebody higher up the food chain at the State Department. Not to single anybody out, but somebody even higher up.
Like Secretary of State or
Secretary of State or Vice President. Or, we have people traveling the globe.
Yeah, they travel.
We had a U.S. envoy, I did a little bit of looking into this, with a U.S. envoy killed in Lebanon during the Lebanon, Beirut, the Israeli Beirut, where they went in there after they kidnapped the soldiers and invaded Lebanon. You also had, in '79, the U.S. ambassador to Afghanistan was assassinated, and the Russians were the ones that were trying to get him out, but there was some controversy about what their motives were.
I'll tell you
the
what.
Soviets, rather.
And I am endorsed by the Ronald Reagan stuff, and I'd like to just kind of hit back a little bit. I like best what Ronald Reagan did when he was elected, right? During the crisis, the Olympics and everything, Ronald Reagan publicly said, I have been elected as president. You have 30 days to release my people, or I will come in and you won't like what happens. And he was a man of conviction. He was a great American leader. And he knew exactly, and everybody knew.
Well,
you say this, he's going to do it.
I know. That's the whole thing about the cowboy shoot from the hip. Do you buy into that, or is that just liberal rhetoric?
From who?
Just people say, well, Romney is a copycat of Bush and Reagan. The Bush.
If you want to go down political slogans, just about every single slogan has been used since, Tippecanoe, Tyler too, and then all the way up to now. Here we are, hope and change. Well, that didn't work out so well. Reagan is a great man, and he was a visionary. And I'll tell you, if there's any time that I could ever use a statement that Reagan would have used, people understand that and they go, I know exactly what you mean. Now, as far as Mitt Romney, Governor Romney copycatting or anything like that, I think that's ridiculous. He's trying to make the point. And he's really waiting. And I, of course, being a strategist in what I do, you're waiting for that premier opportunity in the middle of a debate when President Obama's going to open his mouth and say this, and you're going to say, well,
it's kind
here
of
we go, and then you're going to let him have it with both barrels, and you're going to show everybody exactly what this person's about or what that person's about.
I think some people think about the idea that if Romney is emulating Reagan, does that mean Obama is emulating Jimmy Carter?
I don't think he's emulating Jimmy Carter.
Let's wrap this up. Bring it home to the home front here and about the election here at home. Of course, we had a recent debate in Oak Hill, and you did very well with your opponent, Carl Persis of Ormond. Even though he's not on the county council, because he had to step down because of controversy with technical issues with.
Well, he just wanted to get $279,000.
Well, but that was his right, under the retirement to drop program. I know some people think that.
Hey, if you pay into it, it's yours.
You open the door to that. I mean, he put in well over 100,000, 150,000 in the primary.
Oh, he put in 165,000.
Okay, Doran put in 190,000.
Something like that.
And you put in how much?
4,000.
4,000. Do people relate to I mean, all this is covered pretty much in our debate, but that's why I want to focus on the military, especially what's going on right now. But do you think that it's hard for people to relate to? And I guess that's why maybe is that your selling point, that you're not one of them, that you're not having these, you don't have these big salaries, you don't have these big.
I don't think it's a selling point at all. It's just a fact of life. You know, I took $2,000 that I had, and I stuck it in my campaign. And that paid for my ballot. And then we just worked with everybody and started raising funds, and that's what, you know, because I was getting some bad press. You know, I was getting some
lack of press.
Or lack of press. You know, they'd have the big article here, the big article here, and then one little line about me with the mugshot, like I said.
On the jump page.
On the jump page, you know, I'm on the backside, you know, where nobody looks. You know, and so we didn't get a lot of notoriety.
Even with the primary coverage, it was it was still on door and like,
yeah, even afterwards, yeah. Well, what we did, this is what it is. You know, we're grassroots. Very simple. And it's boots on the ground. It's walking up to people, shaking their hand.
Is the boots on the ground a reference to the military background, or is that a firefighter slogan?
Well, no, it's the military.
What does that mean?
When you do something, if you
complete the mission.
Complete the mission, you got to have boots on the ground, people in the combat zone doing what you got to do. And that's what I've been. I've been boots on the ground, walking around, shaking hands, talking to people, getting their ideas, discussing the point of view, explaining to people what the county chairman really does, because we're not autonomous, powerful. You know, we have very limited powers. What do we do? And you know, just explaining, working with people, and I think it's gotten out to the point where people are like, hey, this guy, he's done his homework. You know, I've read the county charter, and I've been doing research on all these issues that come up, and it's like, oh, really? That's kind of silly.
And just to keep people up to speed, you're an Edgewater resident.
Yeah.
You work at WSBB Radio. You're a producer.
Producer and voice of Sunday Morning on the Boston Pops every Sunday morning at 7:05.
Wow, I'll have to check that out.
After the election, because I can't be on air, there's that equal time rule. We adhere to it. I can't do it while I'm on a campaign.
With Sirius Satellite Radio, it's kind of hard to get the AM.
Yeah.
But
online.
Well, look at it this way. You're in the camp, you're in the hunt for the general election. It's just a matter of 50, 51, 52 days from now. Well, it's been quite a lively discussion from a gentleman who lives in Edgewater, producer at WSBB AM Radio, has a Sunday show.
Sunday morning with the Boston Pops, every Sunday morning at 7:05.
So the winning slogan for Jason Davis moving forward here?
It's going to be for a tax reducing county governments. That's what we're here for. That's what we're going to do.
Well, for Jason Davis and his boots on the ground, this is Henry Frederick of Headline Surfer, and this has been the Sunday Conversation.